All right. Well, the next bit is HTTP requests with Go. So let me show you some of these. Let's get back to my Linux machine. Okay, here we are. So again, I make a folder just for this project. It is possible, by the way, to compile Go with just one file in one folder the way you do in C, and some of my students figured it out, but I just got used to doing it this way. So here's a program that will make a connection to the server, and then it will do the head method. This is a lot like the requests method that we used in Python, where it's all pretty automatic. HTTP head will just do the head request to the server. So let's save that and install it and run it. And there it goes. This is the head request coming back from the server, showing things like the version of Apache and such, and then a place for the body. And there is no body because we did not do a get to get it. Now the http://bin.org page is very nice. Somebody put this up, and all it does is when you do a request, it echoes back your request. So you can see here I am using Mozilla, Apple WebKit on a Mac, and it tells you my source IP address and the URL I resolved. So this is a handy way to see if your requests are working. We talked before about using Wireshark to capture requests to see if they're right, and using developer tools to catch requests, but this is another page you can use for that purpose. So I can use it here to see what the requests look like that are created by this library in Go. So this is the get program that uses http://get to perform whatever kind of get request this library creates, and then we can see what it does. All right, and so it echoes back the response, and you can see, for example, that the user agent is Go HTTP client. You may remember from the Splunk that we did, you could use the user agent to tell if people were using Python or a real browser or so on. And you can put anything in the user agent, but your products have defaults they put there to identify themselves. And so to actually get the page, let's do this one, get one. All right. And that one, instead of going to the page, it just echoes back content. It's going to go to one of my pages, which should return some real HTML. And there it does. It returns some HTML from one of my target servers. All right. So now we can do a login. If I put in foo and bar, I'm going to send anyway. I'm using HTTP and the browser is warning me, so it rejects me. You sent foo bar, welcome. All right. And this is one you've seen before. The username and password appear right up here in the URL, which is an insecure method. All right. And so we can make a Go that performs this login. And here, it's incredibly simple. You just use get, and you just put the username and password right there in the bar, so your script doesn't even really know that it's sending credentials. It just processes it the same as if you were just resolving a URL to fetch the page. And now you get the response saying login rejected because that username and password is wrong. So you can make a script that will guess the password using get. And here it's going to just go through these lists. So here you create a password list. When you create a new object in Go, you use the colon. When you're referring to an object that already exists, you can use an equal without the colon. So this defines a username list that only has one item and a password list that has 3 items. And it will then loop through them. Username and password equals range of passwords. So okay, compile that and run it. That's get 3. Okay, good. This line there confused me. All right. And they'll get a flag just from doing that. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, all right, good. So you do get a flag from there. All right. And anyway, it's the same story as before. Then you have a post method, which you can see will just return foo and bar here in the form field. And post in Go is very simple. You just use HTTP post form. And then you put the data here in this JSON looking structure. Name colon value, comma, name colon value. And then you can log in. You see that it correctly goes to the HTTP page that echoes things back. And then you can do a real login and make a loop and start making password guessing scripts. So, there's a couple of challenges here where you have to break your way in to a few websites.